Right hand, we have treble clef, G clef, left hand, bass clef, or F clef. Okay, let's go through this a little bit. Our first measure, we have a C chord, right? C, C, E, G, C. Going to an A minor chord. Together, A, C. We have a D minor. F, A, D. Okay, let's take a look at those again. So we have, this is root position, right? Because we have C is the lowest. I know this is a first inversion chord in your right hand, right? But with the C, root, right? Then we have A, that's your root, right? But we have, that'd be a second inversion chord form in your right hand, right? And that's A minor. We're going down to D minor. But we have F in the bass, right? So, D, F, A. So it's a first inversion, right? D minor chord. So we have C, A minor, D minor. Okay. And you don't have to use the pedal, I was just pedaling a little bit. If you use the pedal, you need to change for each chord, right? Or it's just going to become a mess. Then we go to G, right? G chord. And then we do this. We're suspending, right? The A and the C, and we're going back to G, right? So it's like a suspended 2 and 4, right? And it resolves, right? To the G. So we have G, suspended 2, 4, 2, G chord. And that's root position. Then we're back to what we played in the first measure, right? C. Oh, excuse me, it changes a little bit. So we have C, we still have A minor. Now we have root position here, right, in our right hand. To a D minor. First in, let's see. No, we have second inversion, D minor, right? But that's still D slash F, right? D minor slash F. We have a slash chord, right? Then we're going to a C chord with G in the bass. Right? So that'd be a second inversion, or you could say C slash G, right? Then we have a G diminished 7 leading to A minor, right? Leading to A minor. Right? That half-step relationship from G sharp to A, right? Again, we have C. We have G sharp diminished 7. Obviously, half step to A minor. Right, root position. Then we're going to D minor with F in the bass. We have C chord with G in the bass. We have a G7. Right, root position here. But you have F, G, B. That'd be 1, 2, 3. That'd be your that'd be your third position of G7. Going to C in root position. And obviously you have E, G, C. Now we're going to a root position C chord, but we're going up to our treble C position, I should say, right? C, E, G, and you have C, and that's just moving bass in your left hand, right? So those are just the notes in your C chord, right? Now you could do it 5, 3, 1, but we're gonna do it 5, 4, 2, 1 because we're going to the next measure, C, right? And we want that to be smooth. So we got, and then we have C chord root position again. Passing notes, right? 2 passing notes. Moving on, we have to move up to G position here. And we have a G7. We have full G7, right? G, B, D, F. And we have moving bass here. A little variation of G7, right? We're laying out the third there, but you have the third here. And then we have back to the full G7. And we're going to move on to the next chord. We have G7 again, right? We have that dotted one. And two. C chord, right? With G in the bass. Back to G, right? 5-1 relationship. Then we're moving on. C chord. Right position. Now we have an F chord. With C in the bass, right? And these are just passing, right? Like that. Moving 6, right? And we'll go over the counting even in more depth as we go. We go 1 and 2. Well, sorry. 1, 2 and 3 and like that. You could count eighth notes for the chord or two. You might want to do that to keep them even. So it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and. Moving on to a C chord again. We have octave C here. We have second inversion in your right hand, right? G, C, E. Moving to a G7 with D in the bass, right? Moving to a C chord with E in the bass, right? And that could be a little stretchy, right? 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, could be a little tricky. Probably this bottom line is the hardest, right? Moving up to an F chord. And this is stretchy, right? See that? That's tricky. A third. And going up to a sixth. So that's stretchy, right? We could simplify it if that hurts your hand, right? So we have F going down an octave F, and then you're switching, right? Still an F. Well, no, you're going to D minor with F in the bass, I'm sorry. On that second, eighth, nice sort of switching. 1 and like that. You might want to practice that. And then we go C with G in the bass. We got G here. And then we have G7. To a C chord. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, we went over our left hand, then right hand, get those down. And then we're going to start putting our hands together, right? And you want to, well, you want to go slow when you're doing this. You want to repeat measures. Just don't try and run through the whole thing. And work on certain measures that are harder than others, right? The last line might be the hardest for you. It seems to be the hardest, so you might want to work on that more than the rest. All right, counting. So you want to set your tempo first, right? We're in 3/4, or eventually you're going to want to use the metronome, right? Slowly. Or if you just click the metronome on to set your tempo, right? Just to get the evenness. Get that in your head, right? Before you start, right? 1, 2, 3. We got straight quarter notes for the first one. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we might want to practice that. Then we're coming to eighth notes, so you got to count. Well, you're coming to a dotted quarter, so you have to count eighth notes. So it's 1 and 2 and 3. Again, you might want to practice that separately or combine measures. Then we have quarters again. 1, 2, 3. And the left hand is like your first measure, right? But your right hand changes a little bit, the chord forms. Going on to measure 4, we have a dotted quarter note. So we count eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3. Okay. That might be tricky. 1 and 2 and 3. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3. And we want to keep it as smooth as possible. Moving on to some quarter notes. 1 2, 3, dotted half note, 3 beats. So 1, 2, 3. So that's the first part of your song, right? And you might want to just pick out measures to practice, right? And practice them more than others, right? Now, moving up, here with our root position and treble C position, right? That's your C above middle C, right? And we have movable bass notes here, just chords. 2, 3. Moving on to a dotted quarter. 1 and 2 and 3. That might be tricky, right? 1, 1 and 2. Keep it smooth. And 3. So it's hard going from here, keeping it smooth, right? That's tricky. You're going to want to practice that. Moving on to a G7 chord. So we have movable notes in your left hand. The bass notes are moving, right? G7, variation, G7, and back to our G7, dotted, right? Dotted quarter, so we have to count 1 and 2 and 3. Like that. I'll do that again. There's measure number 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2 and 3. And we'll keep it nice and smooth. Moving on to measure 11, we have C chord. Now, we have some eighth notes coming on, so you might want to count 1 and 2 and 3. And I just counted eighth notes all the way through, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and moving on to a dotted quarter. We still have to count eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3. And that's kind of tricky, right? I'm trying to show you how my fingers are, right? Alright, so it's 1 and 2 and 3. And if you have a little pain, just relax, right? You can come back to it. Alright, now we're moving on to measure number 13, right? And we have this bigger stretch in our right hand, right? We have a third going up to a sixth. It's going to be kind of stretchy, right? So, we're starting with F, then we're moving down to an F in our left hand, which changes the chord to D minor with F on the bass, right? It's D minor. Moving to a C chord with G, right? In the bass. Moving to G7. And then finally, we have C, dotted half note. Okay, so like I said, the last line can be pretty tricky. You might want to work on that more than the rest. And that's both hands, America, right?